Jemila Ahd Shadiyah Bey was born Joan Arlene Sims on January 24, 1934 in New York City. She was the only child of Gwendolyn and Herbert Sims. A bit of little-known curious trivia is that she was born with fire engine red hair. As her mother told it, it was like God changed his mind, because when she was a few months old, it all fell out. As the story goes, her mother picked her up from her crib and her hair stayed in the crib. It grew back dark brown, but evidence of the former red tended to peek out in the summer. She proudly talked about attending Little Red Schoolhouse and Little Brown Schoolhouse, where, as a colored girl, she was a minority in multiple ways. She graduated from Andrew Jackson High School. She also attended Buffalo State Teachers College. Jemila had many gifts, talents, including sewing, candy making, and baking. Self-taught, she designed decorative cakes that would have given Cake Boss a run for his money. 2 cakes of note were a 3-dimensional swan for the birthday of a friend whose last name was Swan, and an anniversary cake for the school where she taught that was so detailed the students could identify their classrooms. Her coloratura soprano voice was her most notable gift. Had she chosen to, she could have had a career equal to Leontine Price and Marian Anderson. Teresa Merritt Hines, Tony nominee for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and television's That's My Mama, was her vocal coach. Lena Horne, whose children were among those she babysat, regularly had her sing for industry professionals she was entertaining in her home. Lena mentored Jemila and wanted to nurture her singing career. Why she opted not to follow that path is unclear. She also babysat the children of Roy Campanella, Count Basie, and many others who lived in Adsley Park at the time. Over the years, many were blessed internationally to experience her extraordinary vocal gift in solo concerts and as a featured soloist in different choirs and choral groups. She often spoke with fondness of her experiences during high school with the New York All-City High School Chorus. While living in Bermuda, she played the title role of Dick Whittington in a pantomime production of Dick Whittington and His Cat. And aside for anyone unfamiliar with pantomime, it's a British tradition usually performed around Christmas time. It's a musical production, usually comedic. Gender role reversal, especially of the principal characters, is common. Later in life, she gleaned great joy from her affiliation with the Carter Singers, whom she considered part of her extended family. Some of the songs she enjoyed singing most were Summertime from Porgy and Bess, Ave Maria, The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha about Don Quixote, My Way, and You'll Never Walk Alone. Joan met Reginald Burroughs when she was working in the sewing department at Macy's on 165th Street in Queens, New York. For those of you too young to remember a Macy's in South Jamaica, the Jamaica Coliseum Mall was Macy's. He was buying records, remember those, in the next department. They married, and Bermuda became her home for the next 10 plus years. Their union produced 2 children, Cynthia, Zakiya, and Christopher, Chris. Chris is actually her 3rd child. Her 2nd child, Reginald Jr., did not survive. That was possibly the most traumatic experience in her life, and she never fully recovered from it. Joan was a radiologic technologist for most of her professional career. She taught primary school for a few years when she was living in Bermuda, as alluded to earlier. She had an entrepreneurial spirit and always had a side hustle. It started with her babysitting business as a preteen, which actually became more of a babysitting agency. She was in such demand that she hired other sitters to work under her, and she could double and triple book. As a newlywed in Bermuda, she made coconut candy and rock candy. She also taught sewing. She had taken cabinet making in high school and built the cabinets in her kitchen. Joan and Reginald separated in 1969, and she returned to New York. They later divorced. Joan had other short-term relationships and one long-term. She never remarried. Upon returning to New York, motivated by early success using an emerging marketing technique, she became a bit of an MLM, or network marketing junkie. From Holiday Magic Cosmetics to Eureka Vacuums, World Book Encyclopedia, aloe vera juice, and many others, she was often looking for the next big thing. Some endeavors worked out really well, others not so much. Her persistence and tenacity were admirable. In the mid-1990s, Joan, drawn primarily by the inclusive concept of universal peace and the acknowledgement of all beliefs, became Muslim. Soon after, she also began to study and follow the Moorish nation. As a result of this spiritual and political growth, she changed her name to Jemila Ahd Shadiyah Bey, which means beautiful singer. Bey is her Moorish title. Note, we are uncertain the meaning of her middle name, Ahd, but with it, she retained her original married initials, J.A.S.B. In 2004, Jemila was diagnosed with lupus. Among other things, she was in extreme pain. It quickly took away her ability to move, and it destroyed her voice. Just prior to becoming ill, she had discovered Himalayan goji juice and a holistic doctor. The juice, combined with her desire and commitment to recover, and her daughter's dedicated care, had her back up walking, talking, and singing by 2007. That year, she took her first trip to Michigan to visit her son since 1990. Anyone who met her can attest that she was passionate about telling others what goji had done for her. She was delighted to be able to travel again. She vacationed with her daughter in Atlantis, the Bahamas, and she was especially thrilled to be able to perform in Europe twice with her beloved Carhill singers. In late 2012, Jemila moved to Flint, Michigan to live with her son. They were blessed to be able to nurture a new relationship. Unfortunately, about a year later, she contracted pneumonia. The new health challenge reactivated the lupus and confined her to a wheelchair. Jemila believed that God put into nature everything the body needs to heal itself. She refused all chemical medications. She had a strong belief, faith, and trust in a loving Creator. She was very thankful to the members of Fairhaven, her son's church, who went out of their way to make sure she was comfortable. She appreciated the time they spent sitting with her when she went to church with him, the gifts, the visits at home, and especially the prayers. She would often ask her son and others to pray for her if she was in pain, but she never complained. She went through life with a smile on her face, a twinkle in her eyes, and a quick wit which often surprised people who were unaware she was paying attention. The family would also like to thank her many caregivers, most recently Sharita from Genesis Total Health, Edwina from Senior Companions, and Jerry from Meals on Wheels. These people went above and beyond the call of duty and truly became friends. Jemila's family line continues with 3 grandchildren, Hakeem Vaughn, Malika, and Sabor, and 4 great-grandchildren, Serenity, Kyla, Malia, and Skylar. She transitioned to join the ancestors on August 1st, 2015.